Welcome to Rocket ATM Tutorials. This video will demonstrate how to pull transaction records and journal records from your ATM machine. First, you want to log in to your ATM machine. I'm going to be showing you this example on a Hyosung ATM machine. Once you're logged in, you want to go into the Journal menu, followed by View Journal. And you'll notice if your software is updated, the ATM will maintain about 10,000 journal entries. So we're going to go into View Journal. And from here, you'll notice that you can navigate your electronic journal, which is a record of all activities on your ATM. Upon entry into the menu, you must know that you're at the end of the journal, which has recorded the last activity on your ATM machine. From here, you can only go backwards to find the previous or older transactions which your customers may be disputing. So you'll note that the last transaction that took place was the fact that I actually logged in. And so because we're at the end of the journal, if you try to go forward, as in the next transaction to view, or jump ahead 50 transactions at a time, you'll realize that there's nowhere to go because you're at the end. So the navigation buttons will allow you to jump backwards in this particular case, where we're starting off from. And I'm just gonna take my time here and jump back several 50 transactions at a time here. Oh, I actually saw a transaction here, and in fact this one here happens to have a transaction error. You'll notice that on your dispute notice that you received, you'll have some very critical information that the bank is looking for. It's going to identify your terminal number, which of course is always going to be the same, but the sequence number of that transaction, which is very important, the date of the transaction, the card number, the card holder's last 4 digits, so you can identify the exact card that was used, and of course the amount that's being disputed. So in this particular example, just by reviewing this transaction, I mean, I can clearly see it's a transaction error, but you'll notice that the dispensed amount was 0, where the customer has in fact requested 60. So 60 bucks was requested, nothing got dispensed. That was the exact situation of this particular transaction. If I needed to print this transaction, I can just go ahead and print this, and this is going to be a transaction record that I'll probably have to send to the bank. Aside from the disputed transaction, which of course is going to be identified by the exact sequence number, it's also important to take one previous transaction to that and print it, and also a transaction after the disputed transaction, which of course we're going to go forward now and go ahead one and print that. Depending on your notice that you received from your bank, it will identify if the disputed transaction is required, and 2 before are required and 2 after are required.